different level. No problem. The important thing is we try our best, and thank you for answering my invitation. You know, something like the meals. I prepare a meal once a month. It's not Vietnamese noodle, but a spiritual meal. You know, it means that we gather together as a kind of meeting, and we study, and we share, and we have a kind of social life with one another. Yeah. So the main thing is that I prepare a meal and invite you to come to eat it. And you come, I'm happy. You cannot come, what else can I do? You know? Yeah, I'm really happy. You know, if you answer, you come, I'm happy. Yeah. And the second part is also important, the social dimension. Yeah. As I talked at the very first beginning today, that we belong to a bigger and bigger family. Yeah, this is kind of social life is very expressive regarding the family life meaning. So we gather together. If we cannot gather together with all members of the parish, then we can gather together with the single groups or solidarities. And especially a number of people gather together in the same category of the activities or the learning or sharing. So our category is the moms, the mothers. We have something the same, so we gather together is kind of easier and more convenient and more compatible for us. But I hope that, you know, with God's grace, you will grow up in both, in knowledge about God, about the spiritual life, and even in practice. In practice, it doesn't matter when you were baptized. Doesn't matter. Yeah, someone got baptized and, when he or she was a baby, and now, I'm sorry to say this, and now 60 years old, for example. Some other got baptized only 7 years ago. It's not necessary. The first one, the spirituality, the spiritual life of the first one will be stronger than the second one. Not necessary. Yeah. It depends on how much grace you receive and how much energy you use for building up your Christian life. How much will you put in practice in your heart for the practice of your Christian life. So don't worry, and I hope you understand that. And little by little, sometimes something very difficult, you feel very difficult for you. But if you are patient and you are willing, as you express your will to God, then He sees your enthusiasm. He would raise to you. Nobody knows. And somehow patient too. Be patient. Okay. Number 5, more knowledge about Catholic faith. I prepared this only a few minutes before I left for Coquitlam to say Mass. So I make a mistake here. So A, duties of a mother. This is not A, this is B. So A, you just correct in any way. A is sacraments. Sacraments. So B, duties of a mother. These are two big topics, very big. However, we try to learn a little bit for each part. Please look at page 2. Page 2. The 7 Catholic sacraments. I think a few months ago we mentioned this already, but don't worry, we can review, and each time we can look at it, the same topic, but with different angle or different aspect. So today we try to, I wish that at least you remember, sorry to say this, I'm sure that many people, many Catholics cannot remember or don't remember the 7 sacraments. So at least you remember 7 sacraments, at least. And you know a little bit of each of the sacrament, at least. Like the sacrament of the anointing of the sick. What does that? Well, what does that mean? What's that? What is this sacrament? Yeah. So at least you remember the name of the sacraments. So, and it has an order, you know. The first is the sacrament of baptism. The second, the sacrament of the Eucharist. The third, the sacrament of reconciliation. The fourth, the sacrament of confirmation. This is a different order. Sorry, because I got from a website. It's not the order. It's not the common order. It's not a common order. The common order is the baptism. The second, the confirmation. The third, the Eucharist. The fourth, the reconciliation. The fifth, the anointing of the sick. The sixth, the sacrament of the holy orders. And the last one, the sacrament of marriage or matrimony. Now we look at a little bit to each sacrament. The first one, baptism. For Catholics, the sacrament of baptism is the first step in a lifelong journey of commitment and discipleship. Whether we are baptized as infants or adults, baptism is the Church's way of celebrating and enacting the embrace of God. So keep in mind that this is the first sacrament we have to receive. I know one of the parishioners, even 60 or more than 60 years old, he said that in this case, in some case, in this case, well, he just go to, Father, can you let him to go to confession? That's good enough. He doesn't need to be baptized. No, it's not right. It's not right. Because the effect, the spiritual effect of the sacrament of baptism is even much more powerful. Because through the sacrament of baptism, we all of the sins we committed, and also the original sin are forgiven. If you're not baptized yet, and you go to confession, even though there are two kinds of sins, different ways to classify the sins. One of the ways is there are two kinds of sins. The first kind is the original sin. The second kind is the sins we commit individually, the sin that each person commits.